And for the week, we ended at $29,095.95. And we had started the week at $26,154.55. So happy to say that for the week, how's it going? It's Rocky. Welcome to the actual week number 12 of my content for the year 2023. And I say actual because last week I called it week number 12, but last week was actually just week number 11 for the year 2023. So what I have here is the usual week chart that we have for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. I trade the futures, so that's the YM for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Not a lot of trades, as you can see here. For the entire week, maybe maximum 7 or 8 trades. However, I had one error right here. It was a trade where I shorted, and basically, I was topped out from it, and I was smart enough to stop out from it before it got worse. But the more frustrating part about it is you can see that it did a upside down V, where if I just held on, I would have made more money from it. But that's the trade that I actually do want to focus on right now. So for this content, I told myself, I would just do the actual account statement review just to show you how I did for the week. Because, if you've been following my content, if you're subscribed and you haven't been seeing any of these notifications, please do, enable the bell on the upper right so you get all notifications for any of my content. I've been doing some live content on daily diaries of my experience. Call it the daily diaries of an average future trader. Just a quick 5-minute right after the end of the US market. So a lot of my trades there, I go through how I did, my thoughts on the market, and some trade analysis. But for this week's content, I figured I go through this one mistake that I did just to show you that I'm human. Like, that's why I call myself an average futures trader, but in reality, more below average retail futures trader. But anyway, on the left here is the time base, the right is the tick base. So on the left here, I drew my average after 3 contracts. There's 3 E-minis. What that means is for every 1 point, it equals to $15. So the rough part for this one here is that I know that my entry was right. You can see it's a progression that occurred across 15 minutes, since each of these candles is 5 minutes. But if you look up in the indicators, there's the normal indicators that I look at to short was not there. But a lot of that was really due to how volatile the market is. I trust the tick base a little more. And on the tick base here on the right, you can see that candles are showing a bit of a slowdown. That's why I entered. And basically, I saw a crossover on the MACD, and then the stochastic RSI was a more pronounced oversold side at that time. So basically, just looking at this, you can see that with my average being this white line of 32,477, I was actually making money way before that. So it was a good entry. If only I had exited a little quicker, then everything would have been fine. However, with things like this, it's either sometimes my risk management wasn't right, I was just distracted, or I was seeing other things that led me to believe that it would go down. But unfortunately with this one, it sort of got out of hand. You can see, before you know it, it was popping to so much that I ended up covering at essentially 32,610. And if I put the calculator here, just for us to calculate that, so I covered at essentially 32,610, right? And I shorted at an average of 32,477. So it was a total of 133 points. And because I traded 3 E-minis, that's times 15. So for that one trade, I lost $1,995. So that was an unfortunate trade, but I was happy that I exited it really quick. But the bad move I made was, you can see this other line, I just panicked a little bit. So I shorted again with 2 contracts at 32,608. And then if I started zooming out here on the time base, on the tick base, you can see that I rode that up a little bit, but basically it kept going down. And then once it finally went down, Let me zoom in a little bit. I was able to cover here at 32,542. So let's do that math. So I shorted at 32,608.50, and then I covered at 32,542. So it's a total of 66.5 points. So multiply that by 10 because it was just 2 contracts. I was able to recover $665, which is nice. And then if I zoom in a little bit more here, you can see that I again shorted with 4 contracts. But this one was just a really quick one because I was super worried and I was not trading clearly anymore at this point. But essentially 32,468.50 and then covered at 32,460. That was just 8.5 points because I was trading 4 contracts. So this one I would multiply by 20. So managed to get $170. But what was frustrating about this trade here was essentially you could see if I zoom out, and of course no one knows what will happen in the future, right? If I had just been more patient, I would have made more money from it. But that's the thing with trading. You got to trade what's in front of you, and you can't have this whole hindsight way of trading because you will just drive yourself crazy. But I just want to go through this one mistake that I made there. And because of that mistake, if you're following some of my posts on the community here, in the community tab, I documented that a little bit. You could see that for the YM, I lost $825 because I did recover some. But the bad part is I flipped my position where at that time I went long on the MYM, which is what I like to swing. I ended up, having a PL open of $2,720 on it. So that was on Thursday. But thankfully for today, recovered $1,500 from it. So the PL open is now just negative $1,045.50. It's still a tricky market because Friday morning during the EU market hours, Deutsche Bank almost failed again. So there's still a lot of jitteriness and contagion a little bit on the banking. However, not a financial advice, but for me, looking at the hourly, and if I zoom out a little bit, see, I've been trading a lot. Let me change that so we can see this a little better. And let me remove my trades here. So I'm just really hoping that if you think about it, we've been pretty much, it's volatile, but to me this is flat for the past 2 to 3 weeks. I'm hoping that the trend with how the central bank has basically took some reactive actions and what's been happening and trying to give more confidence so we can overcome this epic bank run that has occurred. I'm hoping that it'll be more bullish from this point, but it's hard to hope in a market like this, so I'm just going to trade what the market gives me on a daily basis. Anyway, that's a lot longer than I would have liked, so let's switch back to the account statement now. With the account statement right now, it's Friday, March 24th, 6:33 p.m. in the Pacific Coast, and we will go through our account statement. And on the account statement here, what I'm showing is from Sunday the 19th to today, the 24th of March, the year 2023. So we're just gonna go through this description a little bit because what I want to point out is I didn't deposit or withdraw anything from the account. And again, I'm now doing this full time, so what I earn is actually quite important. I have about 1 more month of runway cash that I have to take care of expenses, and then after that I need to start withdrawing from this account. So it's quite important for me to actually perform and do well, and any comments, feedback, really that really means a lot to me and helping my YouTube as well, which I see as another side hustle. They'll help me with some of my income. So alright, let's calculate how we actually did for the week, and let me just clear all this history that is here. And for the week we ended at $29,095.95, and we had started the week at $26,154.55. So happy to say that for the week, 2 weeks in a row we're in the green. So basically, the Friday actually saved my week a little bit there after that screw up on Thursday. Able to get a profit after commissions and fees of $2,941.40. And just to equate that to something that's relatable. In the US, where a full time is 40 hours, so you multiply that by 40 hours, that would be an hourly rate of $73.54. So yeah, that is my content for the week. I do appreciate your time checking out the thoughts that I have on the market. Catch you on those daily diaries that I do at the end of the US market. And hopefully you enjoyed the content. And if you didn't, give me another chance and hopefully you'll like the next one. All right, y'all, have a good one. See ya.